guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale, and today is a big day because I'm about to turn level 13. A few people noticed that I was getting very close to getting to max level in the game, and they said, hey Ash, make sure you do it on camera, make sure you do it in a video. So I plan on doing so today in this episode. Also want to talk about the balance changes, but as you can see on the screen right now, this may be one of my last few videos without face cam. I posted this picture earlier today of my new studio. It's in the works, not complete yet, but we're getting there. So very excited to kind of have a face-to-face interaction with you guys moving forward. It might not be in every single video, but it'll be nice to mix it in here and there. So what card do I want to upgrade here? I'm fairly certain if I choose any epic card, I will easily hit level 13. So I don't want to do poor Inferno Dragon. I've never leveled him up. I think I'm going to do Expo. After seeing Pompeo dominate with Expo, by the way, RIP P.E.K.K.A. Still not getting a buff in this balance update, but we will talk about that in a second. So I'm not going to work on Sparky, not going to work on P.E.K.K.A. I'm going to do Expo, and here it is, guys. This should do it, and here it is. Here comes the 800. That's going to be plenty, and there I go. Max level, level 13. I don't know why I'm this excited about it, but it's been a long road. I've certainly gemmed quite a bit, but I've also donated a lot, and I've farmed a lot as well. A lot of challenge play. Ever since challenges came out, I've been a total challenge fiend. I've kind of challenged myself to play one challenge a day. That's kind of how I farm in Clash Royale, you know. Still costs money, but it's a lot cheaper than the other way, than just opening up chests. And it's a lot more fun too, and you get better at the game by doing it. I'm curious how you guys farm. Do you guys farm just by playing a few challenges a week maybe, or do you not play challenges at all? Do you just open up chests in your crown chest? It definitely stinks. I think there is maybe a few steps that need to be taken to help out free-to-play players, but on the other hand, they've came a long way helping out free-to-play players. Think about it, just 6 months ago, they've added so many things to the game to make it a little bit easier to contend to get your cards up to tournament level standards at the very least, so you can play with your buddies and not be at a deficit level-wise. So let's go ahead and hop into the news today. By the way, guys, does my voice sound a little bit different? Because I am on my brand new mic. It's a Rode, well, I'll go ahead and link what I have right now. I upgraded from the Yeti Blue, which I will be giving away to one of you aspiring YouTubers or streamers out there, so stay tuned. Either, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it on Twitter or on Instagram yet, but let's hop into the news as I try to play this match here. My first match as a level 13, so I suck at playing at the same time as talking, but I'm going to do my darndest, and let's start with a balance update, guys. Well, actually, you know what? Let's start with the end of last season, where we saw Pompeo pick up first in the entire world. Congratulations to Pompeo. And Marcelp, my pro tips Marcel, actually got second in the world, so huge congratulations to him. He also started a YouTube channel, as did Electr1fy, two of my previous pros now on the YouTube, so make sure to subscribe to those guys. I'll include a link to both of their channels in the description below. They joined Surgical Goblin and Colton as other pros who also now have YouTube channels, so huge shout out to all of those guys. Now, Pompeo's first place finish wasn't without a little bit of controversy. It seems like we run into that every single season. A lot of people saw a TV Royale replay where Trainer Nova, aka Trainer Nick, actually dropped a zap spell on Pompeo's King Tower. Pompeo did clear it up in this Twitter message. Regardless of what you guys think, I think that Pompeo and actually Marcel and Trainer Nova, all three of those guys actually have real pristine reputations in the community, so I trust all three of those guys. I definitely know Marcel is 100% legit. Very happy to see him finish so high in the overall standings. It just shows us that things are getting better in terms of fair play at the top of the ladder. So again, huge shout out to Pompeo and to Marcelp. I really like to get Pompeo on the channel soon. Now things are getting pretty crazy in this match here. I made a couple misplays. Okay, a couple is probably being generous, and it looks like he's got me at this point. He's coming hard right now with the Giant and the Elite Barbs. It might be the last time I get devastated by Elite Barbarians. Of course, I joke, but they are getting a pretty decent nerf. We'll talk about that in just a second here, but as I prepare to lose my first match as a level 13 here, I do want to talk a little bit about the draft challenge. I love the draft challenge. I know some people, you know, kind of gripe and complain about it because there is a luck element, a pretty big luck element, but you know, I think it's nice that they provided both a 10 gem option as well as a 100 gem option. So if you don't want to gamble with that much gems, that much money, you don't have to. So it's official, I did lose there. I'm just gonna hop right into another match. Hopefully we'll get back to some winning ways here on ladder early on in the season still though, so you know the stakes are low. But so a lot of people are calling for a permanent draft challenge, and I think it would be amazing to add into the game, even if only in friendly battles. It's a cool game mode. I think drafting is amazing, and by the way, huge news here. We're going to be hosting with a sponsor, Plex Chat. We're going to be sponsoring a really big a weekly segment, if you will, for Clash Royale, and it's going to be involving 3 to 4 streamers. Right now, it's going to be myself anchoring, followed by the Rumham doing a draft challenge, followed by Colton doing a very cool gauntlet challenge. Way more details on that coming up soon, but it should be kicking off in February every Wednesday night, so you guys should definitely be there. That's right, I'll be streaming for the first time in forever. Haven't chosen a platform yet. Let me know what you guys think, or where you guys think I should go. It's right now between YouTube and it's weird, YouTube, Mob Crush, and Twitch. I already have like 10,000 followers on Mob Crush, but it's probably the least likely for me to stay with at this point. But anyway, let me digress back to actually what I was talking about. So the draft challenge, Supercell, if you want to be up to date with, and by the way, missed tornado there, and now it looks like I'm going to be able to just defend and win this match here. But if you guys want to be kept up to date with what's going on in Clash Royale from the dev team, the sneaky best way to do so is to go to the subreddit for Clash Royale and then follow and track the official Supercell Clash Royale account, and they sometimes share some really useful and pertinent information that you wouldn't be able to find anywhere else, such as this one. When responding to somebody asking for a permanent draft challenge, they said, and I quote, and this is kind of a bummer to me because I really wanted this to be a part of the game, but here's their response to the OP. They said, "Our current thinking is that special event challenges are special and fun because they're not available all the time. You know what they say about too much of a good thing. This may change at some point down the line, but for the time being, that's how we feel, even about the draft challenge, which is our favorite too." So a little bit of a bummer there, but you can see their point. They're trying to keep things fresh with challenges, not make them a new part of the game 24/7, where they might have the opportunity to become stale in such a situation. Now let's get to the balance changes. So the balance changes, I'm just going to go ahead and keep them on the side of the screen here. This is what I posted on Twitter this morning. It's basically all of them on the same screen. We'll kind of go off in case you missed all the videos. I highly recommend OJ's video. He really broke down all the new changes versus the old troops, and geez, I don't even want to think about the hundreds of hours that probably went into a video like that. But anyway, getting to the list here. Oh, and look at that, I almost lost this match. Got a little sloppy towards the end there. We'll hop right back into another one after this. But with these balance changes, let me just read them off real quickly in case you missed them. I will also overlay them on the screen, and then we'll talk a little bit about how the meta might be changing. Well, it definitely will be changing, but we'll kind of speculate onto how. So Elite Barbarians take basically a 10% overall nerf when you factor in everything. The Zap takes a 6% damage decrease. Electro Wizard HP up 9%. Now they can withstand a Fireball Blast, and the spawn damage minus 6%, basically on par with the Zap spell to keep everything consistent. The Mega Minion damage minus 4%, hit speed to 1.5 from 1.4, so a little bit slower. The Archer's HP minus 4%, the Log damage minus 4%, knockback effect reduced to the Bowler knockback effect. The Ice Golem HP minus 5%, death damage radius and slow duration have been reduced. The Ice Spirit damage minus 10%, and the Wizard range plus half a tile or half a radius. So that would be the entire balance update. Talk about a nerf train there. I mean, last update it was almost all buffs. Now it's almost all nerfs with the Electro Wizard and the Wizard set aside. So instead of talking about every single card, because I do want to keep this video relatively short, I guess 15 minutes or so is short for me. So what I do want to talk about is Elite Barbarians, and what more so than, okay, Elite Barbarians, I want to talk about Zap bait decks or bait decks in general and how they could be incredibly strong now. And I also want to talk about what didn't get nerfed, what didn't happen here, Graveyard and Royal Giant. So I'll start with that. Royal Giant's really tricky because if you touch him, it makes him almost useless in tournament level standards. You don't see too much of him in tournaments, but you see a ton of him in one specific area on ladder. So it's a tricky card. I can understand why they didn't touch him, but think about it this way. The fact that you didn't nerf Royal Giant at all, and you did nerf one of the best counters to the Royal Giant in the Elite Barbarians, especially that they're a common, that could be an issue. I'm on an island all by myself where I didn't want to see Elite Barbarians get that big of a nerf at all. I kind of assumed they'd get something because of their usage rate, but I like that for free-to-play players, they have another common card they can lean on ladder play. But aside from that, people are worried about Zap bait decks, and I kind of am too. I think they're going to be absolutely incredibly strong right now, although the Executioner could, counter them to an extent. Executioner does do a pretty good job against Zappy type cards, against those swarm-like cards. But for now, we don't have Executioner. We're going to have to deal with it. And I think, glass half full here, guys. I don't think it's going to be that bad. I think arrows are going to now see a use again. I don't think Zap will be totally out. Zap will still be in play. And I think that, arrows, fire spirits, there's all kind of counters that have kind of fallen out of the meta that might see some action again. And lastly, I just have to comment here. I'm shocked that Graveyard didn't get a nerf. I am shocked because Graveyard wins tournaments. That's the thing, that if you just go by usage rates, sometimes it can be deceiving. I'm sure they anecdotally look at tournament results as well, but still, I'm just shocked that Graveyard is still going to dominate the game, especially with Ice Golem and Zap and all the good counters to it, seeing a little bit of nerf as well. So we'll have to wait and see. Another thing I was surprised about is no buffs for poor Sparky, poor Inferno Dragon, for poor Giant Skeleton or P.E.K.K.A. Those cards are so underused, and they're such staple characters of the game. I'd really like to see a new mechanic somehow added to the P.E.K.K.A. to actually make it viable. I think everybody can relate. Anybody who's played the draft challenge, when you get the P.E.K.K.A., if you're anything like me, you're always gonna pass it, and it looks to remain the same way. So guys, if I've learned one thing from playing Clash of Clans for 5 years in Clash Royale for over a year now, it's that it is very difficult to truly predict the meta and where it will and won't be heading. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you have a great day, and as always, take care, guys.